Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting here after Carlisle have won a game at home against Bromley 2-1. Sent Harry McCurdy packing. So look, I'm very gutted that I actually missed this game today because it seemed like a fantastic game. I was meant to be at the game, but I got stuck in Manchester, missed a couple of trains, and only really got back into Carlisle as the final whistle blew. And obviously, you don't go into the game for the last 2 minutes. But yeah, I'm gutted to have missed it because you look at the stats, you look at the highlights. It was a really interesting game. It was a really positive game from our point of view, especially attacking wise. Which has been one of our biggest downfalls for a couple of years now. So it was nice to see that we've had some attacking threat. We probably should have, from the opinions of other people and from the highlights and from the parts of the game I managed to watch on a very stuttery live stream from Sky Sports on my phone. We probably should have had a lot more. Obviously, there's the very obvious example of the missed penalty. But, Kadeem Harris hit the post twice. Jordan Jones had two very good shots saved or hit the post. Kadeem Harris had that header saved. There was some, a fantastic goalkeeping display from the Bromley goalkeeper today. But we won. We had a lot of good work attacking wise. We probably shouldn't have been holding on for a 2-1 come the end of the game. We probably should have had that game out of sight. We could have absolutely hammered them today if we'd have wanted to. But yeah, but I want to kind of address that whenever Carlisle win, because we're so devoid of wins, I feel like there's a big reaction to, everything's now okay and everything's now fine. And I've seen a lot of positivity that I think is a bit unearned from the players, is what I'll say. Because does it not make you mad looking at that today? Knowing that that's what they're capable of. Do you know what I mean? Where, we're all but down. Yes, the win puts us within 7 points of Tranmere, but I personally think there's too much to do now. That's the way that some of them players can play. And it's really frustrating to me that, it's taken for us to be pretty much relegated for them to start playing like that. And maybe it's just a one-off game. I don't know. But look, you've got to remember, I'm not going to be too positive about these players because, we're in the position we're in because of them. One good performance doesn't change that. But look, I'm going to try and be positive because we don't have many wins. But, I see things on Twitter about certain players that have been really poor for 2 years that are now, really fan favourites apparently today because of one half decent performance. But look, I'll try not to be negative because we've actually won. I am gutted that I wasn't there. We could have bottled it towards the end, but we didn't, especially that last second of the game miss from Cheek, which is a fantastic name, by the way. With Morecambe losing as well and Tranmere only getting a point, we have clawed back some space above us. But look, the only chance I see of us staying up this season isn't because of our own brilliance or our own results. I think the only way we'll stay up this season is if the Reading thing gets worse. And for those who don't know, Reading are at quite a big risk of being pushed out of the league completely. We all remember what happened with Bury when they were shoved out of the Football League. And it saved a club from going down that year. It's not a nice way to stay up, but it's certainly one you can kind of keep an eye on, and it gives an incentive to try and finish above Morecambe because we're now level on points with them, but with a worse goal difference. So it might be this season that only bottom of the league goes down, and if you think of it like that, we're only goal difference away from that. Obviously, the real aim needs to be Tranmere because, do you really want to stay up that way and have teams saying that you shouldn't have been in the league? Do you remember all of the stick Stevenage fans used to get when they stayed up in that COVID year. You know, where they were the first team in however many years to finish bottom of the league and not go down, and they got that shoved in their faces for years afterwards. And I don't want that for Carlisle. I'd much rather finish above Morecambe and Tranmere and earn survival properly, fairly. Although I suppose if Reading are breaking rules, then I suppose it is fairly. But you know what I mean. It's not an honourable way to stay up, is it? But look, today. It was really positive, and it drives me mental that that's how some of them players can play. You saw a completely different Jordan Jones today. I thought Kadeem Harris had one of his best games in the Carlisle shirt, and I'm not going to slate him too much because he has been one of our consistently higher performers. But, you know, Josh Vella, who didn't get a very good rating on FOTMob, but, talking to people, apparently he had quite a good game. You know, where's that been for the year and a bit you've been here? Matt Dennis had a good game. Good, because I do like him as a striker. He got an assist today, and obviously Wern coming into the team for one of his first starts, replacing Embleton, which should have happened a long time ago, getting a goal and an assist, and getting man of the match, and rightfully so. It was a brilliant goal, and he's just a better creative player than Embleton, who's going to put in a bit more effort than what Embleton does. So hopefully this is a team that can go forward. I will say as well, Terrell Thomas, if I had to pick kind of one negative from the performance today, he had a very weird game because, he would make a fantastic tackle, and then what did he do? There was one instance where he did just that. He made a fantastic tackle, won the ball back, and then just stood with the ball at his feet and he got it taken off him. I'm like, what are you doing? He made a few kind of big errors that could have cost us, did Thomas. But yeah, look, he's been a good player since he came back from his injury, so I'm not going to slate him too much. But yeah, I think enjoy this win, and I certainly have, despite not even being at the ground. But remember to not get carried away, because we're in the position we're in for a reason, and one good performance doesn't make up for years of consistent underperforming from this group of players. And I think it's worth remembering that. I'd love them, absolutely love them, to prove me wrong and go on a 6-game unbeaten run and keep us up nice and fairly. We finish above Tranmere, maybe climb up the league a little bit more. I'd absolutely love that, and I give them all the credit in the world. But until I see that, I'm still not convinced in our survival hopes. It's obviously a step in the right direction. We've cut the gaps from 9 points to 7. Look, it's still possible. And if we play like that every week, it'll happen. But I don't know how much I can trust this group of players. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. Some other takeaways, it's just nice to see Brunton Park be a bit different. I think the penalty probably wasn't one, if we're being honest, which kind of justifies the miss in a way where you don't blame Harris as much because it shouldn't have been a penalty in the first place. Obviously, you'd much rather he did, but if we'd have had a slightly better calibre of finishing in that game, we'd have won 5-1, 6-1, something like that, because we had so many chances, we had so many shots on goal. I think we can get to something like 20 shots on goal. When as a team, bottom of the league, had 20 shots in a game, it's absolutely mental, and it just shows you how capable and how talented this group of players are when they want to be, and they certainly wanted to be today. So we'll take that. Hopefully we'll see them perform a lot better moving forward, or at least not a lot better in terms of from this game, but a lot better in terms of what they've been doing. But yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.